They say not to do more than like 1 or 2 big things at once or in a year. You do like 20 big things a day.
Cristiano,
CEO of Bold Worldwide, top experts in the world of marketing.
Here to discuss is Cristiano.
Is 100 million real? Yeah, it's absolutely real. I have not been a great CEO, but it's time for me to step up.
I'm down 50% of my staff.
It could be enough to put us out of business.
nobody's grinding like you are.
Is there anything you worry about?
I'm tied to making this work.
Crazy story.
Is the real growing bold?
Yeah, I got some of it done, but the problem is that we don't have bandwidth to answer some of those client questions. So we need to figure out how we can get somebody on that ASAP while I worry about hiring the major positions. Can we do that with freelancers or something in the meantime? Like, I don't want to turn this into a whole big thing, but at the end of the day, we got to get it solved because the clients do come first. 7 job postings, like paid job postings live. I don't know, whatever. I just try to take all the friction out, make it way more clean. Out of 100 interviews, dude, I might get 2 where I'm like, those are my people. Because you're gonna step out of a bigger agency than ours, come back down to basically startup level. Do you wanna help grow this thing, or is that scare you too much, right? And if it scares them, not the right fit. Awesome. Yeah, let's talk about the creative execution in a few weeks when we have some stuff to do it. Craziest part is we have more business and more revenue now than we did 3 months ago, but way less staff. As that happened, you would expect, like, how are we getting anything done? And it was like 50% down, and we're still executing on everything and delivering, and the clients are still equally as happy. What the have we been doing? It really just exposes like the players and then the non-players and the dead weight. Dude, how many people come to this agency? 1 million? Like, everybody wants to work here, but they're not at the level that we need. The vast majority of my time is being spent on looking for new hires. It really comes down to a lot of hiring. It's hiring, man. Hiring a bunch of new people. Yeah, the search for people's going all right. It's a genuine challenge. And then you're like, okay, yeah, but like, how would you do this? And I'm like, jargon, what have been told? Headline. And you're like, no, but how? And people can't answer it there. It's amazing. It's amazing to me, the level of like surface level buzzword nonsense that is just regurgitated and articulated in every freaking interview that we have. For a variety of roles, dude, like director, VP level, all the way down to like AE. And mid-level, entry-level. Seriously, the amount of people have come in here with like manager titles, director titles that I've talked to, I wouldn't hire them to be an intern. And I'm serious. And so to find what we're looking for, which is like super talented people, very high level, experienced, but knows that that's not right, and like really actually matches their experience level, their title level, and their pay level, and has the entrepreneurial spirit, and knows the industry is wrong. Dude, it's like finding like the 1%, half of 1%. All right. I have to call this moving company back. We're moving, me and Allie, in a couple of weeks.
Move One Move In Store, Gwen speaking.
Hey, Gwen, how are you? It's Cristiano. Having a kid in 3 months, so moving at the same time. So, it's a pretty light load. I don't have a lot going on. Feel pretty good. Oh, God, moving is so much fun.
Our baby's first home.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Set that bar.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to how much action can you take. And I think the reason that saying is don't have more than 2 life changes in a year is because most people aren't willing to put in more effort than that. And so to make as many changes as we're making, completely change the structure of the business, have a kid, expand the company, everything that we're doing all at once requires a massive amount of action and attention, because I'm not looking to do any of them half-ass. So it's all in on everything. It's tough. I mean, definitely sleep is something that I'm sacrificing to some extent. Time with my wife, I'm sacrificing for sure, which seems crazy, especially because she's pregnant, but we have a really good understanding, because if I don't put in this work right now, well, then when we have the kid, I'm not going to be able to take time out of the business to spend a couple weeks. You know, I'm not going to be able to do those things. And so for right now, outside of just building what I'm building and going all in, because that's my personality and what I want to accomplish, I'm going even harder now, knowing I'm going to have a kid in a few months, because I want to make sure I have the infrastructure, the people, the talent level to where I can step out for a couple of weeks if I need to or want to. You know, I haven't worked this hard for 18 or 20 years to be a employee in my own company. And that's also this like next iteration and level of growing up as a company, and even myself. So I have to put in even more work right now, because it's critical I get some of these things in place and fixed and together before the little one comes. And Zimmerman, I think, had one of the best explanations or examples of this when he was speaking at 10X. He took like 10 3-year-old kids into a room, and it was like, okay, draw me a tree. It was the only question. And he's like, oh, an every tree, the most beautiful pink tree, and this one upside down tree, and a purple rainbow tree, and this and this and this, and all these beautiful, crazy creations. He's like, I did the same thing with 10-year-olds. Every single one of them, a boring brown and green tree that looked like this. He's like, we taught those kids to stop being curious. We taught the kids to stop dreaming. That to me is where you go, like, there's a clear influence of society and there's a clear learned belief. Because it's like, dude, you think back to your education and family and parents and friends and whatever, and everyone's like, no, like, do it this exact way. Why? And I think that that's the thing that holds the vast majority of people back in every aspect of life. Every aspect, because they're sitting there wondering why it's so hard and why they haven't been given the lucky break, because they're still operating in that box. That to me is like what takes all this back to the hiring. I'm looking for those people that are curious enough and self-aware enough to ask those questions. There ain't no rules, man. Someone else's rules. And when you can accept that everything is bull and it's just made up, then you're actually outside of the box, man. And then you're just like, okay, maybe the tree is pink and upside down. Why not? Our livelihoods, our future. Dude, I can do those things because I'm building a business, because I sacrificed today. Like, that doesn't come along with, sorry, client, my anniversary falls on the date, I can't be there.